Hello there, cat people. Welcome to episode 31 of the Shelter Cats podcast. And if you don't laugh at this one, there's something wrong with you. Or there's something wrong with me, because I'll have completely misjudged what I think is funny. I have 3 words for you. The Farty Feline. That is my guest today, and it's just the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life in terms of fart jokes and cat stuff. So you're going to love it, and I really, really hope I'm not wrong about this. The Shelter Cats podcast, if you don't know by now, is a labor of feline love. All about the amazing shelter cats that have made a huge difference in my life, have saved my life. All about the people that have made a difference in some way in the lives of shelter cats and homeless cats. And hopefully that will serve as an inspiration to get you, that's right, you, to adopt a cat of your own from a shelter or a rescue. Because right now, as I'm speaking to you, it is Black Friday. And is that even a thing anymore? Like when I was a kid, the stores, people waited for the stores to open early in the morning and busted in and beat each other up to get that Elmo toy or the Barbie doll or whatever. Does that even exist anymore? Do people do that? I was going home from my Thanksgiving dinner last night, and we were even discussing that, do the stores open at midnight? I don't even know, because I never ever did that. I never did my shopping on Black Friday. I did my shopping closer to Christmas because the sales got better as you got closer to Christmas. But it is Black Friday. I'm off from work for a couple of days. I'm spending some quality time with my beloved cats, and I have a foster at the moment named Rosie, who still kind of is terrified of me, but she gets along with the cats, so she'll come around eventually. I'm still letting her do her thing, but right now it's early afternoon on Black Friday. Everyone's relaxing, and I'm working on the show so that you can get more stories. So that is the Shelter Cats podcast. And as usual, I'd love to hear from you. I'm hearing from so many people. I'm working on a huge guest. If I can get this person booked, I would be completely blown away. This would be like the biggest guest I've had on the show. I'm so excited. Even the possibility that this person is even remotely interested in being on the Shelter Cats podcast. So that means I want to hear from you as well. I really, really do. So how do you reach me? The web is tylerthecat.com. The email is dan@tylerthecat.com. The Facebook page is called Shelter Cats. The Twitter, my personal, is dantracht, DANTRACHT. And the official Twitter, or X, whatever, is Shelter Cats POD. But honestly, I do more on my own because I have a much bigger following. So just follow me, DANTRACHT. Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. You could all just search Shelter Cats Podcast and you'll find me there. I do a Medium blog every Saturday. I added an extra syllable, blog. Sheltercats.medium.com. I do little blogs every Saturday. I'm trying to feature one shelter cat for adoption per blog, and I don't think I missed anything. Oh, YouTube. The YouTube. I'm starting to kind of figure out. There's Rosie. Hi, Rosie. Rosie just ran by. I'm starting to figure out the YouTube. The video, I'm not doing the video, I don't think. I do shorts of the cats on YouTube. But YouTube, I do just videos of the podcast. So just basically, I'm covering all my bases. You can find this show basically everywhere that has a podcast. But you could also kind of listen to it on YouTube, which I kind of like to do. So the YouTube, also Shelter Cats. And if you have an amazing story, please don't be shy. Like Rosie is shy. Please reach out to me because I want to hear from you. I want to hear your stories. If you run a shelter, if you direct a rescue, if you are a trapper, a rescuer, a foster, if you feed colonies, if you've, like today's guest, if you've written a hysterical children's book about a gaseous cat, I don't care. I want to hear from you because I want to have you on the show because I want is to be an open source platform for everybody to have the opportunity to speak about how they've made the lives of shelter cats better. That's what I want. That's what I want. So, without further ado, my good friend Ralph, I've known him for many, many years. His significant other is today's guest. Her name is Michelle Neilsen. I don't think she's related to the ratings thing. Neilsen ratings? Is that a thing anymore? Is they ratings? Because nobody watches TV, so are there ratings for like Netflix? I don't know. Who cares? Michelle is an author and happened to take in a cat that had a particular issue. That issue being, whenever she got nervous, she cut a fart. So she took that rather humorous story, and again, the cat's fine. She took the cat to the vet. The cat got a clean bill of health. It is literally not a health issue. It is a nervous reaction. I mean, think about it. What do you do when you're nervous around people? I tend to get very quiet and wish I was somewhere else. Sometimes, if I'm like in my dating days, sometimes I talk too much or talk too fast. When I was on my first date with my most recent ex, she talked so fast I could barely get a word in. So everybody reacts to being nervous in their own special way. Michelle's cat happens to have a farting problem. So she wrote an awesome children's book called The Farty Feline. It is funny as hell. You'll see what I mean. It is a laugh riot because it has a good message, and the cat still has Delilah, and Delilah's doing well, and apparently the farting has been cut down as she's settled in. But it's just a funny story, and I just think we need a good laugh. I just think we need a good kind of escape from all the chaos of the world, and we just need to laugh at a cat that farts. Because who the hell does not like a good fart joke? I love fart jokes. My TikTok frequently will show me, and my YouTube will show me horse farts make me laugh. I don't like babies. No disrespect intended to anybody that has children. I don't like babies. I don't have kids. My cats are my kids. But baby farts crack me the fuck up. Baby farts, I cannot stop laughing at baby farts. And I've had people over, and I've just played YouTubes of horse and baby farts, and people look at me like I'm weird. So, who doesn't like a good fart joke? And with that lead in, here is my conversation. There's a couple of blips, but you're going to be laughing so hard at the fart jokes, you're not going to care that there's a blip or two in the show. Trust me. So without further ado, take a gas X, sit back, relax, and enjoy my conversation with Michelle Neilsen, the author of The Farty Feline. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Before we say anything else,
Yes.
I had to have you on for three simple words: the Farty Feline.
Yes, that is my lovely cat Delilah.
So first of all, welcome to the podcast. Thank you so much for doing this. Thanks for putting up with my crazy schedule. Just so everybody knows, you and I share a mutual friend, Ralph.
Yes, we do.
I've known Ralph for 15 years, and he showed me the cover of your book, and that basically all I needed to see was the fart. First of all, we share a love of cats. Second of all, who doesn't love a good fart joke or a fart story? Third of all, you wrote a children's book about this, so thank you. I had to have you on. I had to get your story. I forgot. We chatted the other day. I forgot everything you said on purpose, so that this it's fresh for the show. So I guess to begin, to introduce yourself and kind of your background with cats. Did you grow up with cats?
Yeah, so my name is Michelle Nielsen. I definitely grew up with cats. I grew up with all kinds of pets. I've had dogs and cats my whole life. I one time had a pair of cats that I named Chat and Gato because, what's more clever than cat and cat? Um, but yeah, I've had I've had cats my whole life. Most of them have been rescues or, I don't know, hand-me-down cats or whatever you want to call it. I think I had one cat that grew up from a little kitten. I had her for about 20 years, and that's the only one that I had really from a kitten to for her entire life. And everybody else has pretty much been adopted in one way or another. Um,
Awesome.
yeah.
I think by
So,
law, everyone should at least have one cat growing up.
oh, I think so. I think
I
so.
think the world would be a better place. So, the Farty Feline is based on a true story.
It is indeed. It is indeed. It's based on my cat Delilah that I received. I call her a rescue because it was it's someone that a mutual friend knew. I kept seeing this cat just put outside of her house. She just in the middle of winter. It was a really really cold winter where we had a lot of those like below zero temperatures, and the cat just kept putting outside, put outside, put outside, and she kept bringing it back to the house where it belonged, and then just kept going outside, and then eventually they didn't open their door again. They never wanted the cat back. So this girl, tried to take care of the cat, but she couldn't for a couple of reasons. So decided to have the cat rehomed. So I took her, and she is the most adorable, sweet, loving thing. But within the first couple of days, brought her to the vet, and the moment that we got her, the moment we got her in the crate to bring her to the vet, she farted. She farted, and it was and it was one of the most disgusting things I've ever smelled in my entire life. I've never experienced anything like this. Like I said, I have had cats my whole life. I have never smelled a cat fart. Never.
La-
And
uh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be gross. Was it a audible fart or was it a silent
no,
but
oh
deadly
no,
fart?
it was silent but deadly.
Well, I had to clarify. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, no, there was no sound. If there was a sound, I would have been a whole different level. But no, it was just all silent but deadly. And my mom, who was living with me at the time, we were both bringing her to the vet, and we just looked at each other and just with tears through our eyes, were just hysterically laughing. And both of us looked at each other. We're like, "Well, no wonder they kept putting her out of the house."
Now, she was a kitten at the time, or was she an
No,
adult cat?
no, she's an adult cat. I'm not sure 100% how old she is. The vet kind of, we kind of estimated like around maybe 8 to 10 years old when we got her.
Okay. Oh,
So I'm
okay.
still,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So I'm still not really sure how old she is, but she is the most adorable thing. So, but we did bring her to the vet. We got her all checked out. Everything was good. It was all fine. She just seems to be a nervous farter.
Yeah, because people who listen to the show, the first thing that they're going to say is, "Well, did she bring her to the vet?" So, the vet said the farting is normal. Okay.
Yeah, she checked out. She was 100% okay. She had, I made sure all her shots were up to date. Everything was good. And she's fine. She's a healthy cat. And and what happened was the more she lived here, the more comfortable she got, the more she knew she was safe. She farted less and less. It still happened, but it was
So, how I'm trying not to laugh. How long ago was this that you got her?
so I got her, I actually just looked that up to remind myself. I got her in January of 2018. So I've had her for a
Okay.
few years. Yeah. Yeah. Um,
And she was probably 8 to 10 at the time that you found her. Hello, Michelle. Michelle. I think Delilah farted so loud the connection was lost.
Yeah, I'm
Michelle, we
still here.
lost you for a second.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm
no
still here.
problem. So, so the farting is a nervous reaction, you think?
That's what I think because, she's gotten more and more comfortable and it's been probably a year or so since the last time I smelt anything. So
But until she got used to things, it was like a constant, like, Jesus, I need to Febreze the.
it was constant. It was like every day. And then what was worse is she would come because she's a very snuggly. She is an extremely lovable and loving cat, which I love about her. And she likes to come up and sit like on your shoulder or on your chest or on your neck.
You
And
just, you just need to wear a mask.
you just need to wear a mask. That's it. Yeah. Yeah. Um,
I'm trying so jokes. What inspired you? This could go off the rails very easily. What inspired you to write not only a book but a children's experience with your cat that may eat too much Hormel chili?
I keep the chili away. I do keep the chili away from her. But
Uh-huh.
no,
We know why she farts. You've had too much Hormel chili.
lots of cheese, lots of milk, lots of chili. um, well, actually, so during the pandemic, I'm actually a writer in other forums, and I was just sitting down one day during the pandemic. We're all locked in at home, and I'm curled up on my sofa. I'm all comfy. I was getting ready to try and write something. I didn't really know what yet. And I'm curled up, and she decided to walk past me, and she did a little walk by fart. She crop dusted as she walked past me. And
Crop dusted. I'll never look at a crop duster the same way again.
and she doesn't just walk near, she has to walk across, the notepad, the pen, the whole everything. So she's walking right across my arms, right across my chest, and she let one go as she's walking past, and I just started cracking up. It was
Great.
it was just
Great.
this little shit. What is she
Literally.
literally? And I started cracking up, and I just started writing something. I'm like, the title kind of came first, I think, and then I just started writing it, and I finished it, and I'm like, well, this is cute. So it took me a while to like figure out what, if anything, I wanted to do with it. And then the more I was looking at it, the more I'm like, oh, I think this is kind of an interesting little children's book. So I reached out to an illustrator friend of mine, and she did the drawings for me, and we put the book together. So
And you just thought a children's book would make the most sense. Like, there's a famous one, Everybody Poops, or something like that.
yes, yes, yep.
So
Yeah,
so
there
now
are a few,
there's now there's the,
and that's the thing I did. I
the
thought I've got a gold mine here. It's about cats. Cats are so hot right now with TikTok videos and Facebook reels. Cats are all over the place, and farts, like you say. Who doesn't who doesn't like a good fart joke? So,
it's awesome.
and to me,
Is it?
it was also a story about love, really, because at the end of the day, I love this cat. She is really the sweetest thing. She really is the sweetest, snuggliest cat I've ever had in my life. And I absolutely love her. And her farts, disgusting as they are, they're part of her. And it's kind of what makes her adorable. And it's what gives her her personality. So the whole, one of the things, like the kind of the moral about the book is that I love her, not despite her flaw, but because of her flaw. It makes her more endearing. So that's where I was like, I thought it, like kind of a good moral lesson, sort of, at the end of the day, about love and acceptance. So
Now, has she farted in Ralph's presence?
she has not farted in Ralph's presence. She has not. He is lucky.
Wow, that's a good sign, I would think.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I know I have farted in Ralph's presence, but I don't think it's because I was nervous. So
I have not yet farted in Ralph's presence, so that's
listen. In every relationship, in every relationship, there is a very scientific method to introducing the farting in any relationship or any dating scenario. I, from my experience, it's at least 3 months, and you announce it. I have a, I, to my most recent ex, I was leaving. We had spent the evening together. We were standing outside, and I literally said to her, "I think we're ready," and I cut one. So it wasn't like accidental. Oh my God, I can't believe I just farted. I'm like, listen, we've been dating for a while. We have feelings for each other. I think we're ready for this. And I let one out, and we both. And ever since then, we were a fart friendly relationship.
Well,
So
you have to be real. You can't hold that in for so long.
no, you could damage your health. I mean, look at Delilah. She's a free spirit. So is it? I'm really trying to stay serious. It's difficult to actually publish the book, like the mechanics of getting it published, and what has the reception been to the book? Because Ralph sent me an Amazon link, so it's widely available. How difficult was that to do? As you're an independent author, I guess. Michelle passed out. I can keep talking about farts until she comes back. You
I'm
see, this is there, and she's back.
I'm here. I'm back.
Okay, I lost you for a second.
Okay. Well, so I self-published it through the Amazon KDP self-publishing platform, and it's actually pretty easy to use. But what you have to do, or at least what I do ahead of time, is you have to create the pages because I'm also a designer. So I laid out the entire book. I did all that. And then you basically just upload it to the site, and then once you're done with it and you approve it, you just hit publish, and it's available on Amazon, which is pretty cool.
Is it only digital, or can you buy the physical book?
No, it's a physical book. I actually don't have a digital version of it available yet. I
Oh,
do need to get on that. So yeah, no, it's an actual physical book. Yeah.
and how has the reception been? Have you gotten a lot of
You
um?
know what? I've gotten a lot of really great feedback from the people that have seen it and the people that have purchased it. I haven't, the sales have been light, but if I'm honest, I haven't done like a huge marketing push on it. I've just kind of done some light Facebook. Hey, everybody, check out my book. I haven't really done much beyond that, but I've gotten the people that have read it seem to love it. Um, so yeah.
Is
I,
is there any way we can convince you to read a few pages from it?
oh my gosh, sure.
we we get a reading, folks, and now the Farty Feline live.
Okay, so I don't know how much you want me to read. You can just tell me to stop whenever you're done. Um,
Okay.
okay, so start from the beginning. Delilah wanted love. She wanted to give love and to be loved. She longed to snuggle on a lap and purr until she dozed off, dreaming of fish and birds and catnip and bathing in the sun. But Delilah had a problem. She farted. And not just a normal.
I'll be quiet. I'm sorry.
Okay. That's the reaction I was hoping for, actually. So that's great. And not just a normal kitty fart. They were the stench of rotten garbage, spoiled milk, and bad breath all rolled into one.
That's awesome. I can't. I'm gonna need my inhaler.
Well,
Thanks
that's
for
the
the
best
thanks
compliment I could get.
thanks for the visual. Please continue. I want to hear more.
Okay. They were the stench of rotten garbage, spoiled milk, and bad breath all rolled into one invisible poof. She didn't know why they were that way.
Invisible poof. I'm sorry. I'm ruining it. Invisible poof. Okay. Quiet, Dan. Please continue. Please
Sorry,
continue.
quiet
I'm
on
so
the
sorry.
set, Dan. We're doing a recording here. Keep it down. Okay. She didn't know why they were that way. She only knew that humans could not stand to be around her when they happened. She would fart when she was happy. She would fart when she was sad. when she was excited, when she was frightened, when she was awake, when she was asleep, when she was nervous, when she was relaxed. She had no control. They made her nervous and sad, which only made her fart more. I guess we'll stop there. And then the rest of it goes on. Like I kind of talk about her being adopted by a couple families and just some of those, the experience. I actually do have a bit in there where she is in a shelter and the families come to visit her and a couple people are turned away. And then, spoiler alert, at the end, she has a little girl who comes in and loves her because of her farts, because she's so cute because of her farts. And she takes her home and loves her forever.
That's a great. I, I think in this day and age, we need more stories like the Farty Feline. I think that's just awesome. It's so well written. I ruined the reading, but who cares? It's my show. I'll do what I want. It's just so it's so funny, and again, just for the judgmental people, she's in perfectly good health.
She
The vet
is.
said it's fine. My very first cat, Tyler, audibly farted, but
Oh,
not very often. It was like once a year. He would fart like a man, but there was really nothing. There was really no. I have a big tabby named Tucker, and he'll SBD occasionally when he's asleep because he snores
oh,
in
yeah.
his sleep. And again, the vet said it's fine. It's just kind of the way so he just from the way he's positioned himself, and every now and then it's like, what the hell is that? Is that
Yeah.
you?
Yeah. It's
You
it's
know?
it's surprising that there isn't something dying like in another room. It's so vulgar.
Yeah, how something like that could come out of a little 10-15 pound cat. Um, it, this is I don't know where do we go from here? Is she
It's all
you
downhill from here. That's it. You
so she's with you now. She's an elder statesperson and she's doing well. Do you have
Yeah,
any other cats?
I do. I have another cat named Legs. He was also an adoptee rescue situation. And he's in good health. He's actually curled up next to me. Delilah is somewhere else in the house. I don't know where she is, but he's curled up next to me. Um, but yeah, him too.
Delilah's
She's off.
embarrassed.
She is. She's off hiding somewhere. She's holding her head down in shame. I can't believe you're talking about me like that, Mom. I can't. Uh,
Why is he named Legs? ZZ Top fan? Or?
so again, he came to us. He was part of a bunch of cats. This older woman had passed away. She had like 7 cats and a bunch of dogs. Her granddaughter was supposed to take care of them, but she really couldn't. I mean, that's a lot of animals to take care of. So she rehomed most of them, and we wound up with 2, with this guy and another one who unfortunately was sick when we first got him, and he passed away within a few months. But this one, Legs, came with a really awful name. It was a horrible name that we just wouldn't, we're like, we're not calling him that. So for a couple of weeks, we weren't sure what we were going to call him. And then one day he's in the kitchen and he puts his paws up on the counter. He's like reaching up to the counter for something. And we look at him and his markings, the way that his hind leg markings looked, he looked like he was wearing, one of those like 1980s French cut leotard bathing suit kind of things that
I, I haven't thought of that in that particular order in probably 30 years, but I know what
yeah,
you I know I
but
know
you
I
know
know to
exactly.
what you refer.
Yeah, the one where the hip line goes all the way up to the armpit. Those things that so
So then he got the name Legs.
so
I'm
he's got
thinking,
the
I'm,
that's
that's
what his hind
awesome.
legs look like. And my mom and I both looked at him, we're like, well, look at the legs on that guy. And then immediately it became so that became his
I
name.
I'm putting you in charge of my TikTok for the show because you are funny. You you are funny as hell. You have the most interesting cats. You have Delilah the farting feline. You have man.
That's right.
Um, I have one named Vance. I named him. His official name is Vance Refrigeration from The Office, but you know, I I wouldn't have thought to name a cat after a. You look like a French leotard. We're gonna call you Legs. It's like, where the hell does that come from? That's really, but it's like, well, oh, your cat is really cute. What's his name? Legs.
If
Okay.
you saw him, you would completely understand. It's so funny. He's a ginger, so he's kind of dumb, but he's lovable. Yep.
Yeah, Vance, I love him. He is the sweetest, most gentle cat in the world. He's not gonna pass the SAT anytime soon.
No.
Um,
Is he also a ginger? Is he?
he's a ginger.
Yeah.
He was in a colony in Valley Stream, and so he's got a tip the ear. You know, he's a retired colony cat. He's the kindest cat, but and he's Mr. Jealous Boy. So anybody else who's getting attention, he'll muscle his way in and like me.
This guy does
You
the
know,
same thing. It drives me nuts. Maybe
he
that's a
is. You
ginger
know, but
quality too.
I think so. It's not. He doesn't fight. There's no malice. There's no not one mean bone in his body. But if anybody else is on my lap, he'll jump on my chest, and then the other and whoever else is there first will be like, "All right, fine, I'll come back later." So it may be,
That's exactly
but I didn't call him legs or arms or you have nice abs or anything.
it.
I don't know. I was watching The Office and they were Vance Refrigeration that popped in my head. I started calling him Vance Refrigeration.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, not all
listen,
of my cats' names have been so creative. The last one that I had for the 20 years, I brought her home on a Monday, so her name became Monday. There. So it's not-
but even that is cool. Who would think that's? It just shows that you have like a different way of thinking about things, and I think that's a good thing. Monday.
yeah,
You know, if you bring home your next cat on a Friday, you could be it could be Friday or Wednesday.
maybe,
Um,
maybe.
do you have any other children's books in the works? Do you plan on writing more?
I do actually. I was actually kind of inspired when this one was done to look back at all of the various pets that I and my friends and family and whatever have had. So I actually have several other stories in development for other pets that are the unlovables that have these character traits that
I think we lost you again.
I haven't moved. Honest, I'm in the same spot I've been the whole time.
I will edit it together. It's not a problem.
um,
I had the director of Little Shelter in her office, and she cut out midway through. So trust me,
yeah,
it's not. Nobody's judging. No, people want to hear the stories. They don't care if there's a blip every now and then.
right, right.
Uh, it's
Um,
it's a loose, unscripted show, but so there'll be more stories.
yeah. Yep. The next
And
one will be about a dog I had growing up who got car sick all the time. And then another one is my best friend's cat that she had when we were growing up, who was just the meanest cat you've ever seen in your entire life, but loved her dad. So, there's always a balance. There's always something redeeming in them.
yeah, that's what that's the whole point of this show is that everyday normal shelter cats can make a difference in your life.
Oh, and they're
And
so and
and so
they're so
and
lovable.
some yeah, they're just the you know Ralph last year was very instrumental in helping me trap one of my kittens who I think we discussed when we were on the phone,
Hmm.
who I cannot handle her, Mona, but she needed to get to the vet ASAP. And Ralph, I don't think he's a big animal person, but even he was kind of he stepped right in to help. He was right here. We had to tip the tree over to get her out of the cubby into the carrier. It was a whole big to do, but they're just. I love dogs. My landlord has a pit bull that I love to death.
Oh
He's
yeah.
he's he's a big 10-year-old pit bull. My oldest cat, Sophie, he's terrified of Sophie because she's a very bossy cat. Uh, so years ago, he looked in the screen door, and she was on the inside of the screen door, and she just sat there and stared at him. And she's a 15-pound, basically soccer ball of a cat,
Wow.
but she's intimidating. And 2 minutes later, he walked off whimpering. And every time he sees her in the window, he'll like he'll like get and he's a 70-pound pit bull. He's fiercely protective. He's very friendly. He's a very sweet dog. Every time he sees Sylvie, he's like, "Oh shit, sorry, no, I'll give you a wide berth." Um, so so they each have their unique qualities, and we love them in spite of Sophie.
Yeah.
For example, Sophie might be bulimic, and purges,
Oh my
but I
goodness.
love her anyway. And again, the vet said it's fine. Um, but she has a sensitive stomach, so if she eats too fast, it comes right back up.
Right.
And usually on the couch, on the carpet, on my chair, never like on the bare floor.
No, because why would it be?
Uh,
Because that would make it easy to clean up. Why?
but I love her anyway. And the vet said it's fine. Some cats are bingers and purgers. But you love them despite their faults, because they give you so much unconditional love back.
That's right. That's right. As
But
long as you
listen,
feed them. As long as you keep feeding them.
as and in your case, you feed Delilah Hormel chili. Please continue to do that. Hormel is not sponsoring this show, by the way. But if they want to, call me. The Shelter Cats podcast is sponsored by Hormel chili. That would not. But listen, Michelle, thank you so much for not only rescuing this gaseous cat, but loving her and writing a story and reading some of it on the show. Thank you so much for looking past her issue and giving her, because farts or not, they all. One of mine, I think, even Vance burps. I think he burps.
He burps? Well, that I would like to see.
It's not like a belch, like
Right.
after I have a can of soda, but it's more like a hiccup, kind of a thing. So I've heard that. I've heard kind of. I guess it's a burp. It could. I don't think cats can hiccup, but it kind of sounds like a little baby hiccup. But that being said, we could have another episode of cat bodily functions. When you write the next books, well, that I would definitely want to have you back to do more readings, because I think that would be fun.
Oh, I love that.
But thank you so much for adopting her. Thank you for being on the show. Thank you for making me laugh.
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate this. This has been great.
No, it's an awesome story. It really is, because so many people, the mantra is adopt, don't shop. Adopt. All of these cats need homes, and some of them aren't perfect. Some of them, for one of the shelters, in the blog, I featured a cat that is missing an eye because they found him on the streets and he had a bad eye infection, and now he looks like a pirate.
But now that's the coolest cat on the block.
He's adorable. He's friendly. His name is Sawyer. And some of them are not perfect. Some of them have issues. Some of them have special needs, and they all need love.
Yes.
Delilah has a certain way to react when she gets nervous. Everybody has their thing. When I'm nervous, I'm very quiet. I'm either very quiet or I talk too fast. Delilah happens to fart. She happens to also be a cat that farts. So thank you for loving her. Thank you for telling this story and bringing joy through the Farty Feline. And I'll definitely have you on again when you write more books.
Great. Thank you. I would really appreciate that. I love this, Dan. This was great.
It was a lot of fun.
All right.
Great. Thank you. Take care.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Dan the Catman here again. Tell me, how much did you laugh? Did you do what I did and like paused and rewind a couple of times at the really funny bits? Whenever I new people discover, well, there's Rosie again. Hi, Rosie. Whenever yes, I'm recording a podcast. She's using a scratching post. Good girl. She's so tiny. She's a tiny little tabby. She doesn't have stripes. She has spots. She's so cute. You can come in the kitchen. Come on. I'm recording in the kitchen today. But again, did you pause and rewind during the funny bits? Because just really funny story. Just a laugh riot. And she was an amazing guest. And I'm hoping to have her on again as she writes more stories, which she said she'll have more stories to tell. And I'm very much looking forward to that. And looking forward to where this goes. I think there should be a YouTube of animated shorts of the Farty Feline. That would be funny as hell. The possibilities with a cat that farts are endless. And if your cat has ever had a gas problem, let me know. Reach out to me. Send me an email. Comment somewhere. Comment on the show. Find me. Comment on the Facebook page. If your cat has had a gas problem, let me know. Let me know what you did about it. And I'd love to hear those stories as well. So I hope you had a good time. I hope you enjoyed the show as much as I enjoyed recording it. Have a great week. We'll see you in the next episode. Pet your cats for me, and peace. Hello, Dan the Catman here. Just when you thought it was safe to end the podcast, I'm back with another added bonus segment. Aren't you the lucky people? So, I have some amazing news, and I have a very unique way that I'm going to celebrate that amazing news. There was a cat, picture it, Floral Park, New York, 2020. Picture it. I sound like Sophia Petrillo. A little stray female cat named Penelope. Well, she didn't have the name. She didn't have like a name tag, like Paddington Bear. I named her Penelope. Showed up at my door during the heart of the pandemic. She had a tipped ear. She had 2 different color eyes. She was a gray and white tabby, little girl, somewhat reminiscent of my Jackson. So she had that kind of gray tabby with the white diamond around her mouth and white feet and white back legs. Very pretty little girl. Started showing up, and I started feeding her, and I made her a box, and she would sleep in the yard, and she'd show up at least twice a day for food. If it was sunny, she'd sleep in the back steps. If it wasn't sunny, she'd sleep in her box. She never wanted to come in, but she hung around. She was pretty regular. As soon as it was light out, I'd see her little face scratching at the door, begging for food. She had a cute little meow. I'd go and sit with her, and she'd rub my legs and let me pet her, and she'd purr. And she was just very sweet and very kind, and always very hungry. I knew she wasn't pregnant because she had a fixed ear. And that went on for years. When my relationship met its timely demise, I actually opened the door, and she came in and then ran right back out. So I had assumed that she would be resigned to be just an awesome stray that would kind of live in my backyard in her own little house. Even though when it was cold and rainy, I always felt bad for her and wished she would come in, and I'd daydream of her curling up with me or something like that. But some cats are just not like that, Just because they don't want to come in and sit on your lap doesn't mean they don't deserve love. So she always got food. She always had her own little box to sleep in that I kept as clean as I could. And that went on until just about a week and a half ago. So the Saturday before Thanksgiving, she showed up and something was wrong. She had definitely something was going on with her mouth. It looked like she had something stuck in her mouth. And I tried to get it out because she always, was very friendly with me. But she wouldn't have it, and she ran off. And that went on for a few days. I didn't see her for 2 days, and then she came back, and I could tell she was in a lot of pain. And I tried to grab her. I called everyone I knew, including some amazing former podcast guests, to try to help me trap her, because I knew there were a lot of professional trappers that I've come to be friends with. And, everybody is always very busy. There's always so many cats in need. So it took a few days. And finally, as I discussed in my last episode, John DeBacker helped me, coached me to actually net Penelope. So she was finally caught, and he rushed her to the town shelter because technically she was a stray. So any stray that is injured, the town that I live in has a program where they'll treat them for free. So it turned out she had a chicken bone stuck in her mouth. How she did this, I don't know. But somehow she got a chicken bone stuck in her mouth. And she had some fleas and her nails needed clipping. So I just saw her. That's part of my happy ending story here. So they treated her. They gave her medication. They cleaned her up. They gave her flea medication. They removed the chicken bone with some sedation. She had 2 days to recover, and now she's in my bedroom. With the help of my good friend Ralph, who introduced me to today's guest, Michelle. He helped me to go pick her up from the town shelter, and now she's here. She's home. After 3.5 long years, with Michelle's help, with Ralph's help, with so many people's help and love and advice, this adorable little cat with the 2 different color eyes is here, and she's home, and she's safe. She is safe. So to commemorate that momentous occasion of Penelope's finally being off the streets, I am going to read to you a few pages of the Farty Feline. So, without further ado, the Farty Feline, written and designed by Michelle Neilsen. The Farty Feline, an unlovable story. So you hear the pages? Delilah wanted love. She wanted to give love and to be loved. She longed to snuggle on a lap and purr until she dozed off, dreaming of fish and birds and catnip and bathing in the sun. But Delilah had a problem. She farted. Not just a normal kitty fart. They were the stench of rotten garbage, spoiled milk, and bad breath, all rolled into one invisible poof. She didn't know why they were that way. She only knew that humans could not stand to be around her when they happened. She would fart when she was happy, and she would fart when she was sad. I can relate. When she was excited and when she was frightened. When she was awake and when she was asleep. When she was nervous and when she was relaxed. She had no control. Again, I can relate. That made her nervous and sad, which only made her fart more. When she was just a tiny kitten, a human family took her in. She was so happy she farted the moment they got her home. Again, I can relate. Shocked and disgusted, they immediately put her outside. Not sure what she did wrong, Delilah farted. Again and again and again. And that's all I'm going to read, because you all are going to have to go buy the Farty Feline. It's available online on Amazon. It is available. Go buy it, because it is an amazing book written by an amazing person who is good friends with my amazing friend Ralph, who amazingly, I just used the word amazing like 12 times, who amazingly was instrumental in making sure that she is home with me, my Penelope. So I hope you enjoyed that little reading. I'm not going to read you the whole book. You're going to have to go buy it. So go buy it. It's online on Amazon. It's a physical book, so go buy it. and I'll send it to you. Michelle was gracious enough to send me a copy, autographed, so I have an autographed copy, all to myself, which I will cherish. Thank you, Michelle. I am so grateful for this episode. I know we all needed a good laugh. And thank you, everyone, for supporting me through the Penelope saga, which now has a happy ending. But for every happy ending, there are more cats that need a happy ending of their own. So don't give up the fight. Don't give up the ship. Keep trapping, keep feeding. Be patient, because it may take a while. In my case, it took 3.5 years. But they all deserve to have loving homes. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you in the next episode.